This week is Parshas BeHar BeChukosai. It's a double Parsha, and it starts with the laws of Shemitah, the sabbatical year, and Yovel, the Jubilee year. Shemitah comes every 7th year. Yovel comes every 50th year. And the salient aspects of both of these are that no agricultural work is to be done, basically. No planting, no harvesting, and the land is considered as ownerless. Anybody who wants to go into someone else's field and pick the fruits off the tree is not only free to do so, but encouraged to do so. It raises all sorts of questions because the Chumash raises the important one. It says that the people will say, if we didn't plant or harvest, what are we going to have to eat? And the answer is that God says that He will command His bracha on the land and it will give 3 years' crops. In other words, a person will have food to eat for the 7th year and the 8th year, which would be the Yovel year, once every 50 years, and enough food until the crops from the 9th year are able to be harvested and eaten. And the Chumash gives assurances of peace and prosperity. You'll dwell securely in the land, okay, if this and all of the other mitzvahs are kept. The Shemitah is also mentioned in BeChukosai, and the salient aspect of BeChukosai is a very long harangue of the horrible things that will happen to the children of Israel if they do not keep the Torah, or they are cool to the Torah. And one of the things it says is starts off with you'll be paranoid, you'll be nervous, and nothing will turn out right, and it keeps getting worse until it gets to a point where it says the land will be a desolation, and you will be exiled into the lands of your enemies. And then it says, and then the land will have its Shabbases. So you have a connection there. The Kli Yakar explores what are the reasons behind the Shemitah, and he says that really the idea of it being that the land should rejuvenate itself because it's fallow does not seem to be logical, because it also says that you're going to get 2 or 3 years crops in the year before you leave it fallow. He says that the idea is to cultivate faith, that if the nation as a whole can eat for 2 or 3 years just on the crops of 1 year, or just set aside food, and that these years are not years of shortage, quite the contrary, that they are extremely festive. It's considered almost ecstasy is the Yovel. It comes once in a person's lifetime. That this is going to deepen a person's faith. and that the reason it specifically says that these are the laws that were given on Mount Sinai is to recall the national memory of the revelation on Mount Sinai. Specifically, it says that Sinai was a mountain that had a lot of vegetation. That's why the Chumash says you can't shepherd your flocks on it. You can't approach the mountain. So the agricultural laws are meant to recall the experience on Mount Sinai. You also have the sounding of the shofar, which is called a yovel. One of the words for shofar is yovel, a ram's horn. And that also recalls the sounding of the shofar on Mount Sinai during the revelation of the Torah. The connection between them seems to be a verse that the commentaries bring from the book of Iyov, which says, "An empty man will gain understanding, and a wild donkey will a man be born." The basic idea seems to be that man in his natural state is the horrors of that we see in BeChukosai, and that if he keeps the laws of the Torah and he has faith, that then the spark that can fall to a very low place is elevated to a very high place. That it's through our faith that we leave the lands fallow, we restore people to their ancient lands, another recollection of freedom from slavery. And what this does is it gives us a period of joy and elation. The word yovel also means a stream of water, and what it hints at is that that it's the laws of Shemitah will give a person faith that will overcome adversity.